how to work on your SEO without paying for tools. I could also have named this how to do SEO the Dutch way, because we're very cheap ass people. There's a reason for that. There's a saying, going Dutch, right? The other person doesn't want to pay. So I don't like paying for stuff. And you'll notice. So who am I? I mean, Jesus. Mark called me a legend. I was flabbergasted. I think you could never say that about anyone. Maybe, but I would never call me a legend. But yeah, apparently. So, little quiz. 3 pillars of SEO. First one. Anyone? Any takers?
Links on content.
Links. Who was that? Well done. Second one. Content. So what's the third one?
Candid.
So if you have the content, if you have the links, and you don't appear, what is wrong? The indexability or the UX, right? The technical part indeed. So I try to find tools that can fix all of these problems, right? But for free. First one, who uses GA4? Who loves it? I do. So how do you use it for SEO? Question. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I use it for SEO.
You don't use it for SEO?
No, I do.
And how?
Low-performing pages.
Low-performing pages. I hate bounce rate. Because nobody understands what bounce rate is.
You can still find it though in GA4.
No, luckily, yeah, but Jesus, don't look at bounce rate, right? I'll tell you why. Because if you look at bounce rate, it essentially means that there was only one hit in the database and no more hits, right? Okay, so this is really helpful. Who of you is tracking this? Tracking the page title of their 404 page in GA. Anyone? Come on. This is a mandatory thing to do. It is. Because you're screwing users. Actual users end up on a 404. Right? So this is a report. Luckily, I don't run the PPC for this client, but because have a look at that. 1,400 users on mobile got a 404 and came from Google paid search. For fuck's sakes. So, what is it? Page title, page path, query string, session, source, medium. Simple report, just set an alert or look at it regularly, fix it. And you know what? If you're an agency and you do this for your client, you're a really good agency. Because you make them look good. So what do? You redirect the ones, right? And if it's paid, you fix it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. On we go. Okay, who uses Search Console? Most use tool, right? How many of you uses the interface and solely the interface? One, multiple? Stop doing that. On the 18th of August 2017, Google said, we're making a little privacy change. So whenever you filter something in the interface, we might leave out more. That more is a lot. Right? So there we have it. There is the free tool that will solve it. Right? There's a Google Sheets add-in that will fix this. It's called Search Analytics for Sheets. And if you put less than 25,000 rows from the API, it's free. You don't need to pay anything. So you just select it. There you go, the country. I don't do filtering. I just get the raw data because it's more important to me. And then you request the data, and there you go. You got everything. Nicely sorted, right? So what are the big tips when using this? You don't filter the request on the API. Just take query and page. And now you've got the biggest data set you can get from the API. You can combine keyword and landing page, something you can't do in the interface, which is an absolute nightmare because you can't see cannibalization, you can't see loads of things, right? And but if you link it up to Google, like Looker Studio, Data Studio, whatever they call it nowadays, what you can do then is set up very advanced filters, filtering out the brand terms and only taking certain patterns, right? Which will give you amazing reports. Anybody has a bigger site or wants to do more than 25,000 rows? Yeah? Probably you know this. Don't use the native connector in Google Data Studio or Google Looker, whatever they call it. Because if you do, you filter on the request, which means you get less data because they take the privacy stuff out, right? Use an API with your own data store, right? And pull it every day. Or use branch tools. I love this tool. It's built on your own, how do you call it? It's built on your own data BigQuery, which you can make any report. But the cool thing is they pre-populated reports. So you can overlay Google updates, you can do all kinds of stuff. And I think it's about 30 euros a month, which is... Now, some of you I spoke about the really secret sauce, the biggest link index that is free. I bet this is bigger than Ahrefs, than SEMrush, than Moz, than all the other tools out there, right? So what do you do? How many people know that you can import all of your verified Google Search Console sites? Yeah? Raise your hands. Quite a few. And when have you learned this? Was this 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago? 4 years ago? I did. And I have been talking about this for ages because I think it's absolutely a brilliant step, right? So you just click on login with Google, take your Google account that has access to all the Search Console, and then on you go. And then here's a report that supposedly doesn't exist anymore, but it is. So you can basically get all of your backlink data for your website with all the response codes that the Bing bot has encountered. So you can get the 400s. You can actually see which page links to that 404. So these are features you normally have to pay for in the paid tools, but it's right here. So you get broken links ending on 404 or 500, right? I'll share the slides because this is the page that supposedly doesn't exist anymore. But if you fill in your full URL with HTTPS, it will give you this data if you verified the site. Little trick. I didn't know it worked because this was an old deck. And I tried it again and it still works. So pretty damn cool. Happy about that. So, more free backlink data. You see, I mean, I don't really do a lot of link building for my own domain, but I actually got 33 or real organic links. Haven't paid anything for it, right? But it will give you anchor text, the page that links to it, not the domain. Google Search Console will give you a domain, but this will actually give you the page, the anchor text. But more importantly, you can do this. That's me. The second one is Bastion Grimm. The third one is Aleida Solis, right? And I can see backlinks for all three of them. And you can do this for any site on the web. Now that's fucking powerful, right? I mean, honestly, I was like blown away when they said they would give this. They told me in 2017, I guess, in Boston. I spoke with one of the guys and they said, just wait a minute, we'll fix our our Bing Webmaster tools and you'll be amazed. Keyword research, literally to up the actual searches. Now, use these searches? No, because Bing is tiny, Big G is massive, right? But it will tell you about the search behavior. So you can benchmark where keyword data are. And I think this is better than using Google Keyword Planner or a lot of the other things. Who has used this? Raise of hands. Has anybody used playback tools like Hotjar, right? This is the free one. It's completely fucking free. Don't need to pay anything for it. You can load these, you'll get heat maps, session replays, unique user insights, frustration metrics. It's all in there. And it's free. You can just use it. Like, why would you pay for a tool if it's free? That was my Dutch voice. And here's another one. I get so frustrated with people that look at spreadsheets, that look at tools. For fuck's sakes, just use the SERP. Think about the autocomplete. Watch your wife or better half do a fucking search. You'll be amazed. They're stupid, right? I mean, the amounts of times I'm standing next to my wife and going, you might want to do it in a different way, right? This is not the best way to Google or to search or whatever. But that is the attention we need to grab. We need to understand their journey, right? We can find pretty much anything on the web using search modifiers or whatever, but they can't. And really pay attention to the layout. If the SERP serves images and you're trying to rank with a video or with a blog post, you're not going to get the click. If they have forums and you try to do that with a blog post, it's very unlikely you'll get it, right? So it's all in the SERP. If they show shopping results, you need to have a shopping feed to be able to get in. It's a very simple one. And last but not least, the people also ask, like, apparently there's a tool, and I'm pretty in love with that tool, must admit. But before that tool, I tried gaming it by adding plus onto my email address to get more searches. But those fuckers, they fixed that. And what I did, because I'm cheap, right? But I've been using, people also asked, what you do is you open one of the people also asked, and more will join. This is a great way to do free user research. You can map that into different articles. Answer those questions. It's the best way, right? Okay, now I'm going to get into the handy Chrome extensions. Who uses Chrome? Everyone, come on. Okay, so there is one thing. This is free, but you pay for some of these with your surfing data, right? So be aware. I mean, I'm okay with that because I think the search data can have my data because I stand out so much different from other people, so I'm fine with it. But be aware of that. First one, SEOquake. Been using this for ages. Actually, the company behind it is SEMrush, so all your data goes straight into SEMrush. But hey, if you want to use this, it's easy to download a whole SERP. So just set it to 100, click download SERP. You'll have all the URLs ranking for that. You can do loads more, so that's the link. Download the SERPs. Basic on-page data like Open Graph, Twitter cards, all these kind of things, right? Why is it not working? Okay. Core SERP Vitals. Who has heard about Core Web Vitals? Right? Page speed. But the cool thing here is, as you can see, if you install this extension, and it's made by a developer from Brighton, and I don't think he sells his data, so I didn't ask, but I don't think so. But the cool thing is, it will give you the Core Web Vital scores for all users on that particular page. Not domain level, but page level. So you know what you should be aiming at. Right? There we go. View rendered source. Who knows this one? A little bit of technical SEO, you should. It basically looks at the initial response. This is more advanced, so sorry beforehand, before saying this. But it's the initial response, and then it looks at the JavaScript rendered one. So it's a great way to debug stuff. It's like, my page title is not being picked up, or I have problems getting my pages indexed, etc., etc. That's it. Redirect path, a great one as well. I think they do sell, or at least use this. Oh, I mean, within time, cool. Great to easily check the response code. So you can see 301s, 303s, 304s, 404s, whatever. Right? Now, trick question. Who knows about capo? So not a lot of people know this, but if you change the order in your head, it can have a massive impact on load times. And Adi Osmani, who is like a Google advocate for the site speed team, built this little neat tool that integrates with, how do you call it, the web developer console, basically. And in the JavaScript console, you'll see what you can change and which order you need to change your head into having a way faster response and a way faster load time. It's quite advanced, but fun. Great and simple, up to change your head in order, right? And I think I'm almost there. So this one just came in. I didn't know about this one. But if you have multiple websites, you need to keep track on when they expire or when your SSL expires. Who has had problems with their SSL? That is quite embarrassing. Like, I had it with my own website. So a client said, I was on your website, but I got this thing, this SSL, your website's insecure. Now, you can go to free domain alerts. It's built by a tool called Little Warden, and it will give you exactly when they will expire, and they will send you a message when it's about to expire. So just set it up, fire and forget, get an email if it's about to expire a month before, you can renew it, done. There we go. One more. Almost there, Mark. So the crawling tools. So there is a crawler where you can pay for with your attention. It's called Alpha Crawler. It's free to use. You sometimes get an ad. But if you're starting out as an SEO consultant, it gives you pretty much the same results as a lot of the other crawling tools. The second one, if you need to do it, you can just sign up, have a 14-day trial, get the stuff crawled. I would recommend getting it, but if you want to do it for free, this is the way. I don't think they fixed the thing with the plus. So if you have a Gmail address, you can add a +1 or a +2. And Screaming Frog, if you have a smaller site, under 500 pages, is free to use. Right? And I guess, please connect with me. I love helping people. I love answering questions. Don't be afraid to ask. Whether it's tonight, whether it's through a DM on LinkedIn or Twitter or Mastodon or loads of other places. I'm always happy to help, as some of you might know. And that's it. And then I think we can go to questions.